The Path of Titans developers recently relaunched their podcast, and with a lot to say. From the critter improvements to the upcoming Unreal Engine 5.5 upgrade, to future TLCs and what we could expect to get a TLC in the future, as well as the updated quest system, and so much more. So, I'm breaking it down today, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Unreal Engine 5.5 for Path of Titans is just around the corner, and there is a lot at stake. With the upgrade, the devs explained why they've done it and what it will benefit as well. So firstly, the reason why. The reason why is they are aiming to upgrade the engine to the latest version as soon as possible. They have explained the next upgrade is coming soon, and the move to Unreal Engine 5.5 is coming soon. So they're essentially trying to just keep in the loop with Unreal Engine upgrades every couple years, upgrading the engine, benefiting from what is new. Now we talk about who benefits from this, because mobile players and players on mobile who have bad performance specifically will benefit massively. It also fixes some crashes that were occurring on Samsungs that the devs struggled to fix, and it also brings more tools for the developers working on the game. For example, in Unreal Engine 5.5, Jiggy can render a preview of what the game can look like on multiple devices, like on mobile, allowing them to fix different problems on other platforms, for example graphical issues. Now they can just render it out in engine instead of having to port it to a different platform and then testing it, so it's way quicker. One thing that Matt mentioned as well is the amount of time to build the game is quicker as well, mentioning iteration speeds have been a lot faster. This is something that can speed things up massively. Matt quoted it could take 2 hours to check if a bug was fixed or not currently, or that's the doomsday scenario pretty much, and now it's quicker than that. In terms of a final note for this upgrade, so far the devs have said it's looking good, and they don't seem to have any remaining issues with the update 5.5 upgrade, so we could probably expect it in the near future. Talking about something that we can expect in the near future, critter improvements are one of them. The devs have confirmed the next update will include the critter updates that are on the PTB currently, and explained why they are doing this. They wanted to address how easy they are to hunt. Once you know how they work and when you're an adult as well, it makes it so much easier for you. Stating that they are no longer threatening to adults, and also that they are very predictable with little variety, and this is what the developers wanted to tackle. Critter growth that works similar to dinosaur growth is what they're implementing, and alpha critters as well, which are very beneficial with unique attack types that the adult critters don't do, and provide a massive amount of food more compared to the adult critters. However, they are a lot rarer. They even said passive critters like Didelphodon will attack you as babies now, but do bear in mind this is all currently testable on the PTB, and you can play it right now if you have access to the public test branch. The devs did say that this isn't all for the critters either, as they did say they want to improve critters even more in the future, explaining that these critters are the stopgaps between AI critters and AI dinosaurs, and that once they nail this, it makes the introduction of AI dinosaurs easier. They essentially said they want to add these for the critters, however. Firstly, critters that are passive until attacked, critters that are more defensive if you attack a critter nearby, defending their friends pretty much. They want more variety in critter attacks and attack patterns, making them less predictable, and they also want amphibious critters, ones that can swim in the water, but the devs did express that they want a crocodile critter, kind of like the Goniopholis that we've seen before, but they also explained that this is going to be a lot of work to get a critter to seamlessly transition from land movement to water movement, but they did explain it's something they are working on. The rework to footsteps and other audio improvements were then spoke about next in this podcast. Currently they are reworking the footsteps to make them travel much further, mainly for larger dinosaurs. There is a dedicated reverberation in terms of like the echoing of the footstep that makes it more obvious how far away it is, making footsteps sound further away. Equally, they wanted to make out what terrain the dinosaurs are walking on. They've updated the sounds for a variety of textures like crunchy grass, dirt, gravel, sand, and making it more different overall, which you can currently see on the public test branch, both of those changes. There's now more blending between growth stages as well, so growth stages blend better as you get older in terms of the footsteps being made. These footstep updates are coming in the next patch, so it's something we can immediately look forward to. Once again, it's on the public test branch right now, but there are other stuff you can look forward to in the future, and this is the other audio update. This includes environmental ambient sounds, something they have said they are working on already with different ambient sounds for different biomes, for example frog audio in swamps, better 3D spatialized sounds as well. This isn't just something you can hear all around you, as the devs explained, this is more directional. For example, if you had a tree to your left, a creaking tree audio would come from your left and not all around you in a 360 view. And the next big audio improvement that the devs want to work on is distant dinosaur calls. This will better hear how far away players are, judging by their calls at a distance. For example, Rex broadcast will reach further, and Alderon broadcast calls will travel further as well. They are working to make them sound better. Very exciting stuff there. We move then into TLCs. We've got dinosaur TLCs like BARSBOLDIA to talk about, and then what we could expect as the next TLCs, or the future of dinosaur TLCs. But let's start with BARSBOLDIA, because Jiggy did start by mentioning with this, by the way, that she reads a lot of YouTube and social media comments about the game. So everybody say hello to Jiggy in the comments. Hi Jiggy. You probably don't see me saying this, but you'll see everyone else saying it. That being said, the BARSBOLDIA TLC, admittingly, they promised this a while ago, stating that in order to do this TLC right, they need to rework area of effect attacks. Explaining the current area of effect attacks in the game are definitely lacking in a lot of ways. Makes it an issue as they don't want it to be the core mechanic they base a dinosaur TLC around in its current state. Stating that, for example, area of effect attacks do not hit flying creatures currently, and another example is there's no locational damage with area of effect, making it very unfair. They also think the area of effect isn't clearly determined by the particle effects for the attack as well. However, the devs went on to say that this essentially is fully fixed and done before Bars comes out. That's what they want to do. Sadly, though, there is no date for when that will happen, and then there's no date for when BARSBOLDIA will release, but they do say this. The area of effect rework is almost done. They said it fixes pretty much everything they spoke about being a problem, but it is still in testing right now while they find bugs. And once it's done, the Bars TLC will be the next major TLC. So we could probably expect that this year, maybe. Tying into TLCs, however, the developers did talk about what the next TLC could be. That was the subtitle of this section, but they didn't specify what the next TLC will be. But they did say that a lot of dinosaurs will get them. They said as many as they can get done will be done, and they also want to make sure they don't just work on creature TLCs. For example, they want to add new dinosaurs or new systems to go alongside those dinosaurs. There was the question on what dinosaurs are getting a TLC, and the developers did say that in general, pretty much every dinosaur released before Hatzegopteryx will get a TLC at some point. That means, guys, you won't believe it, Kyrekia will be getting a TLC. I know a lot of people were saying that thing is very ugly, but it will be getting a TLC by the looks of it. But that means everything after that won't be getting a TLC, so do bear that in mind as well. The part that I was actually quite excited for is game modes, because they did say and admitted that game modes are taking their time to release, and there are stuff blocking them from releasing game modes. For example, game performance, pretty much. This is something the devs have said they are working on. Lots of players in one small area causes massive performance drops on lower end devices, so before they release them, they want to ensure performance is fixed, saying they've so far increased performance by 20%. And design and technical issues as well had cropped up as well, saying they were tied to a single map, or game modes were tied to a single map, with the mod having a map baked into it. This led to problems where if you downloaded the mod for game modes, like the King of the Hill mod, you also download the map and then the game modes as well, and you won't be able to do anything to that if you had a extra modded map that you wanted to put the game modes on. I know that's very confusing, but it essentially defeated the purpose of what game modes were for, because you were meant to put them on any map, and well, this issue made it so you couldn't. Essentially, they're working on blending the game mode system with the creator mode assets, essentially working around this problem. They've already implemented the idea to allow modders to pre-bake game mode systems into their maps, however, which is pretty cool. The biggest thing I think, and something that I think a lot of you will be very excited for, is the updated quest system. They did say that a lot of work has been going on behind the scenes for this, despite them not saying much on it recently. They have said they are moving away from a point of interest based questing system, saying that the current system works okay, but the devs are now moving toward more persistent quests. You'll be able to walk out of an area and not have the quest fail due to you leaving the point of interest. The way the quest will actually start is because you enter a specific area like a den or interact with an NPC dinosaur. A lot of quests will then be in your quest log and will be tracked, and your minimap will show you the general area where your quest was located in. The new system will be like a task-based objective. For example, the example they gave was it will be started by an NPC quest giver. You'd then track a critter via its trail, then kill it, get an item from it, and then take it back to the quest giver, where you'd be then rewarded with something like a new skin or some marks as well. But what are they working on right now in regards to this? They are working on designing and creating the quests. They are also working on making new quest items, and they are expanding the functionality of the quest system and fleshing it out as well. Sadly, there is no ETAs on the upgraded quest system, but this is what they want to achieve with it. I'd love to know your thoughts on this, by the way, because the quest system is a huge part of this game. Are you happy with this change or are you not? We've got 3 more things to talk about here: nesting improvements, Panjura, and water visibility. Firstly, let's go to nesting improvements. The devs said that they are making a number of nesting improvements coming, and one of them is visible eggs. They also want to add players being able to raid nests and steal eggs, because they did say that this would work with a future rework to the food and diet system in the game, and so I'm chucking that here anyways. But they also then said they want to have 2 different parents for a nest as well, and that being added to the family tree too. Someone also asked if the developers will be giving Panjura a TLC. The devs did acknowledge it will get a TLC in the future, saying it will tie into the foliage they are working on reworking currently. For example, the trees swaying in the breeze, new grass textures, all trees and foliage are now on their own shader. However, they are not actively working on a Panjura TLC right now, but would like to work on it in the future. They said they would like to allow flies to run on the map and make the map more compatible with them. They also want to introduce more water and waterways to the map to allow for swimming creatures to have more to do on the map than they do right now. And that's everything for Panjura, nothing really big. The other one is water visibility. This one isn't massive either. Someone essentially made a suggestion about water visibility, making it harder to see underwater for land dinosaurs and to stop people from putting the camera underwater to see what's around, and make Sarko better at ambushing in the water because, you know, it lives in the water. The devs didn't say they will do this, but they did say thank you about the suggestion, and they're gonna think about it. They did want to make a way to stop people from peeping the camera in the water to see if things were there, however, but it's something they'll think about. And that is everything. This took me a little while to go through. I think it took me just over an hour to compile all this information, stopping and starting. It was probably 2 hours actually, but there was a massive amount of information here. A big eye-opener of what's coming into the game in the future, the potential of what we will see this year as well, or in future years. But of course, now I want to pass the question to you, because this is a lot of information and I want to know what you like about it. Do you like it? Do you disagree with some of the stuff the developers want to do, or are you pleased with it? I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. After all, the devs did say they read YouTube comments, so maybe they'll be reading these comments. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. If you are new, feel free to subscribe, but other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.